Okay, so my name is Pat Armstrong with EnergyScore. If you've been doing the training, you're probably sick of my voice already, so that's for sure. And got a few of you on here, and Gabby with ICF as well, who's helping manage this program for the WTI. So noticing I got typos in here already. So just kind of whip this thing up very, very quickly this in the last hour or so, just to kind of give an overview of what we're trying to get done. And I know it's all happening very quickly. I know there's some deadlines that you are up against, but I want to make sure everybody's going in the right directions and not wasting any time that's out there, to achieve the goals. So, I'm not sure if I mentioned it. My name is Pat Armstrong with EnergyScore. So really what you want to do for the first couple certifications or certificate and certification is to follow that steps email that we sent out back in October 27th. So um, the building science principles is a prerequisite for the tech, the building analyst tech, which is kind of a learner's permit for energy auditing. So we want you to have that done before we jump into the multifamily. So some of you have done that already. Some of you are still working on that. So so basically the 5 steps here: do the prerequisite training, take that building science principles certificate exam, do the building analyst tech training, and prep yourself. Do your field training, use your house, use Energy Scores Field Guide. I'll go over that in a couple of minutes. I only have about 12 slides here. So, and then go through and schedule your field exam and take your field exam remotely. So that's kind of the plan. So the building science principles um, is the prerequisite for the building analyst tech. So we're not able to even test you for the building analyst tech unless you've sent us that certificate. So I can't even log you into the testing interface. So that's it. So that's why we're trying to make sure everybody sends us that certificate from BPI prior to scheduling their exam. So we will just cancel your exam if you jumped into that too early. If you're scheduling it, down the road some, just shoot me an email. Let me know. I know I scheduled it for a week and I'm going to have it done before then. That's fine. So, but if you're scheduling it for this afternoon and you haven't taken that certificate exam, we're going to assume it's done in error. So, the building science principles certificate is the prerequisite to building else tech, and that's a prerequisite to us putting you into the multifamily building analyst training. So each one of these is progressively more difficult, as we build on your knowledge, right? So, think of the tech as a learner's permit. The multifamily is some advanced driving. Okay. So, target dates, last Friday. Basically every Friday we've got something we're looking to have done to keep everybody on schedule, and there are some incentives involved, right? So there's some financial incentives to achieving these goals. So to do that, we've got some milestones out there. The 7th, last Friday, we wanted you to have the building science principles completed and that certificate exam completed, and email that to me. Some people have done that so far. If you haven't done it yet, we didn't cut off your access to the training. So get it done now. By this Friday, we want everybody to have the building analyst tech training done. And that's the training and the quizzes and the exams, right? So, we can see your progress through our system. So don't just take the quizzes. We'll talk a little bit about that later, but do the training as well. So this is the normal training for this, for the classroom portion, is 2 full days. So, expect to put some time into this. So 5 people have done that so far. And then get yourself ready, get a test house ready, get the equipment, make sure you're good with that, and take and pass that building analyst tech field exam. One person has done that so far. And then we'll put you into the multifamily building analyst training. We will have that training released on the 17th. So is the plan as of right now. If it's available earlier, we'll reach out and let you know. So same kind of thing. Everybody's going to get a test code to get you in there for free. Everybody's figured that part out so far, and go ahead and do that training and set up your exams. All right, so let's go through those different steps, the first five and then the last two with multifamily. But this is an on-demand course, right? My company does, EnergyScore does live training and on-demand. It's an on-demand course, so everything is here. EnergyScore.com, click on the green start button. It's available. The courses are available during the training and testing, and it varies depending on the course type, but there's definitely uh, classroom training videos, quizzes, exams, field training videos, in addition to blog articles on different topics, helping yourself or your company get involved in this industry. So step one is going to energyscore.com and doing that building science principles training. So again, don't take the quizzes. You're not going to be ready. You might get by this one without doing everything properly, but you will not get by the next one. I mean, that's the bottom line. Step two is take the building science principles exam. Now, this is not on energyscore.com. This is on bpi.org. So I'm not looking for the Energy Score certificate that you did the training, right? It's BPI's certificate test. It's a 100-question test, 2-hour time limit. It's not proctored, it's open book. You're going to get this code here and you're going to go there and you're going to put that code in. Now, this login is different than your login for Energy Score, right? Two different companies. So unless you've taken this exam before, you're going to log in and set yourself up, register as a new user, right? Then send us that certificate. And the certificate should look like this. This is the old school one. They also have a newer version, which is flashier, but it's going to say Building Performance Institute, Building Science Principles, and be signed by their people. So that's what we're looking for. So go ahead and send us that. That's step two. Step three is your building Analyst-Tech training. So when you go to energyscore.com/start, you're going to click on that training and you'll get access to those chapters and quizzes. Go through each chapter, listen to it, take the quizzes. You can take the quizzes multiple times until you're really good at it and move on. So get yourself prepared for that. Do those quizzes at the very end. There's a couple exams. There's like a midpoint exam and a final exam. Those will help you get ready and study the standards and study the Energy Score field guide. So, don't try to game the system. We've had some people recently try to game our system and get a checkbox or something like that. And just like Netflix, right? If you jump to the end of the movie, Netflix thinks you completed that movie, right? So our system will do the same thing. But we look, right? So I know that this training is roughly on average about 14 hours for people. And if you have 40 minutes in there, we know you didn't do training. It's literally just that simple. Now, whether you took the quizzes 5 times each to get 100 on them, doesn't matter. You're not going to be prepared for the test. So don't try to game the system. You're only shortchanging yourself by doing something like that. So this is a free training. If you paid retail for this course, it's over $2,000. And that's just that course, let alone the multifamily. So this stuff has some real value. Step 4 is do your field training. So you want to study the Energy Score field guide, and it's right in the test, right in our portal. Under reference standards here, you've got Energy Score Building Analyst-Tech field guide. It has our logo on it. So that's the one you want to use. BPI's version is fine, but ours has some extra stuff in it. We have boxes around the gated items. Gated items are things you have to do correctly to pass your field exam. So, we've added a little bit extra information where we're allowed to. So this is a very useful tool. Have a hard copy of that. Print it out. Have your notes. Be prepared. Do you want to see your test? this literally is your test. So your first question on your test will be, what are three important things for combustion to occur? Right there. And so you're going to say fuel, oxygen, ignition source. You can literally write those down on there to be prepared. You're allowed to do that. They treat the field test like it's a field inspection of a property, and you can have reference materials with you. So you're allowed to do that. So show up prepared, and you'll be successful. So my company's trained and tested close to 10,000 people at this point. So we're good at it. So if I'm telling you you should do something, it's because we've tested thousands of people, and that's how they are successful. And if they don't do those things, they won't be successful. So, get that field guide, print it out, get your notes on there, practice on the house you will be testing on, right? We'll talk about what that house needs to be next. And that field guide and your test house is literally is your test. So make sure it has the EnergyScore logo on it, and you'll be good. Step 5 is get ready for your test. So make sure you have a field house or a house that you're going to test on that has all these kind of basic things so that you can do your testing. So it can't have any hazardous materials, right? Asbestos or mold or anything like that. You have to be able to set up a blower door. It needs an accessible attic. You don't have to walk around up there, but you can poke your head up in there and evaluate the thermal boundary and stuff. Some type of appliance that has a data stamp, and a appliance that is used for heating and cooling that has some ductwork you can evaluate. We need one atmospherically vented appliance. If you don't know what that is, you probably haven't done the training, right? So atmospherically vented means there's no fan. So furnace, boiler, water heater without a power vented system. So because we need you to show us spillage, right? Which is spilling its exhaust into the property. We don't need to see that. I mean, we don't technically we don't want it to spill, right? But it should, we want it to, you should show us how to test for that. We need ductwork. We need a domestic water heater, some kind of gas line, an exhaust fan, a door, a window, and hopefully a gas oven. If not, we can simulate with electric. So if you have a house that does most of these and you might be missing a couple things, reach out to me. We can get around things like gas ovens. There's other ways to get around some other things. If it doesn't have an attic, but it has knee walls and an eave or overhangs or stuff like that that you can evaluate thermal boundaries, that'll work for us as well. And then schedule your test. So step 5 is getting prepped and getting scheduled. Go to energyscore.com/start. There's a pattern here, guys, right? So, this is where everything is. You're going to click on schedule your exam. You're going to say it's paid for and pick your remote field exam. So your BAT field exam is a remote field exam. Pick that, pick your date and time, and instantly you're going to get information on your test. And it's basically going to tell you the stuff we already kind of covered. Make sure your house is good. Make sure you have the equipment. Next thing you want to do is reach out to WTI, to Teresha, and coordinate picking up your equipment. So this is really important, right? You can't do a combustible gas leak detection test without a combustible gas leak detector, right? So you got to have that. Take a look at the equipment. Make sure it's charged. Everything that my understanding is everything they bought is rechargeable. So make sure they're charged. Make sure you have batteries if you need. Make sure you know how to use these. There are a few dozen manufacturers of testing equipment, especially our carbon monoxide, combustible gas leak detectors, CO devices. There's basically two major ones for blower doors, Retrotech and Tech. So Minneapolis Blower Doors, that company. So they all pretty much do the same stuff. You're going to push different buttons to get the different information you want to see. So read the quick check or quick start guides, right? Be prepared. Run through the blower door setup on your own house or your test house, whatever you're going to use. It doesn't have to be your house, right? It can be anybody's house that has all those requirements. So friend, family, neighbor, whatever. So make sure you're good with the equipment and you're ready to go and it's all charged and ready to go. So, these field tests are recorded. So there's nothing worse than somebody picking up, a piece of equipment and saying, "This is mine. I'm not used to it. I don't know how to use it." Well, our options as a proctor is to give you a one or a zero, right? A one is you did it correctly, a zero is you did not. If you look into the camera and say, I don't know how to use it, you're going to get that zero, right? So that's not the goal here. Um, so go ahead and get the equipment, practice on your house, do it the night before, do it the morning of, get yourself ready. The field guide is your field test. So literally everything you need by that point is in your hand to be successful. So put in a little bit of time, get yourself prepared. And then on test day, follow the instructions. So when you signed up for the exam, you picked your date and time, you're going to get a email from our calendar uh, app. It's called Calendly, and it's going to send you a login link to Zoom, a Zoom link, just like you had today. So go ahead and click through that and do that. Um, Make sure your cell phone is fully charged because your average test time is about 2 hours. Um, and then jump into the meeting and follow the instructions of the proctor and go ahead and complete your exam. That's it. You're basically going to go through the field guide top to bottom. To get your results, go back to EnergyScore.com and click Get Test Results. And then go ahead and email us that building analyst certification. Now you're going to move on to the multifamily. So same kind of deal. Back at EnergyScore.com, go through that course. This is not a screenshot of that course, but it's going to have the same similar layout. Um, chapters, quizzes. Go through all those. Don't try to game the system. You're just going to shortchange yourself. Um, the only different thing about the multifamily is there's no field test. There's just two written tests. One is a multiple choice exam, and the other is a picture-based exam. So instead of doing a field exam like you did on the Building Analyst-Tech, the multifamily, it's a picture exam. So they're going to show you pictures of 50 different things, and you're going to have to answer a multiple choice question about those 50 things. Generally, it's kind of what are these components? What are the energy efficiency measures shown? And all this is covered in the training. The training does have quizzes to have pictures in those as well to help you get prepared for that. So that's a multifamily thing. Once you get that through that training and you're ready, same deal. Go schedule your exam. In this case, you're going to pick a remote written exam, uh, unlike the remote field exam you did for the BAT. Click through, pick your date, pick your time, and schedule your exam. Get yourself ready. On test day, you'll need two devices for this exam. You'll get all this in the instructions once you sign up. But you'll need one device to live stream your testing environment. So probably a cell phone and set that up so we can see your testing your desk, um, your computer screens, make sure everything's good. And then you're going to use another device to do a screen share of your exam. So probably your laptop or desktop computer. So that's it. Make sure you've downloaded Zoom to your devices you're going to use. Go out, you can test that link at any time. Jump into that meeting, make sure it all works. Make sure Zoom doesn't need an update or something like that. And that's really it. Go back to EnergyScore.com, get test results, same deal. Email us your multifamily certification as well. So that's really it. A little crash course on getting you through this training. Email me directly with any questions. I want to make sure everybody gets consistent answers, identical answers, so to help get you prepared. Anybody have any questions or anything? I know I went through this fast, but it is being recorded, so you'll be able to see this
Yeah,
as
I have
well.
a quick comment, Pat. Hi,
Yep.
this is Brenda.
Bye.
Hey, Miguel and Peyton, thank you for joining, and thank you, Pat, for doing this call. I think it's really helpful. I just wanted to emphasize that we really want to support you all through this process, and just an important deadline to keep in mind, as Pat had displayed, um, the November 28th. Unfortunately, if we don't have your MFBA completed by that date, you won't be able to be eligible for the $300 incentive. Um, or you most likely will not be. There's a chance, but if I were you and you would like to be eligible for that, I would strongly recommend and urge you to have it complete by the 28th. Thank you all.
Yeah, sounds good. And just keep in mind, like the 28th is the day after Thanksgiving, right? So I wouldn't
Yeah.
I wouldn't leave that to the last minute. So we will have some testing capacity on that Tuesday going into that. The and obviously the week before too. So late the week before would certainly work. Late the week of the 17th would work, or early the week of the 24th would work. But don't leave that to last day. I may be able to make a few test slots. If I was planning to be off those days, visiting my children, but if it looks like we're going to need some slots, I might be able to put a few on Friday. But normally, a remote testing capacity is like 6 slots per time. Um, I won't be able to do that because it actually requires me to carry 8 computers with me to pull that off. So with my travel plans, I won't be able to do that, but maybe a few. So anyway, get it done, get ready, get prepped, get it done early. That's my recommendation too. Anybody
Can
else have
I?
any?
Sounds
Yep.
good.
Oh, I got one. You guys being here, very, very thankful for you guys to be here. The ones that did show up. I'm just gonna say this: if you see your classmates or people that you know are also participating in this, give them a nudge. Be like, hey, this is a one. It is a great opportunity that's being given. It's as Pat said, these are pretty expensive courses that we don't want to lose out on as one, helpers. But if you see them and nudge them, just like, hey, get moving on your stuff. Don't skip out on the classes. Push to get it all done. We really want to get you guys. We want to give you guys the money. We want to give you guys the top six, the kits. We want to push to give you that ability. So if you can, give them a nudge. Say, hey, get this done, get this moving. Because in all, if they don't want to do it, if they take their time not doing it, they're really just taking time out of someone else's opportunities that could have joined. Like Miguel, you came in, you started busting it, and you're pushing faster than a lot of people. So I want, thankful for you to help do that. But if you see your classmates, just push them, say, hey, get this done. It's an opportunity to help you in your future and your future jobs. So, get pushing on that.
Like yeah, the incentive is a real big factor in it, but it's not only that too. It's just the experience, the opportunity to get to learn. You know what I mean? And so if I could be one of those first six people, I'm definitely going to get in there and try to get one of them toolkits. You know what I mean? Because I could definitely benefit from it. Um, just my background in history. You know what I mean? Uh, not to put my whole business out there, but being 22 months clean and sober, man, I'm trying to seize every opportunity to make myself a better future, and I appreciate the opportunity, guys. Thank you.
And that's what we want to, that's what we're trying to do. Give everyone the chance to grow. We have Brandon and I, we work together. Brandon and I have our job. We have our obligations to do. But we went here because we found an opportunity to help out people that are recently graduating, recent graduates that get an opportunity to get a free kit, start their careers off, ahead of the game. Especially with the certificates, you get 3 certificates and the kit to put yourself a level up from somebody else. So no, we appreciate you working hard, man, and everyone else continue to work hard. Luke, you killed it, from day one talking to you. So we appreciate what you're doing. Peyton, I know you're pushing through as well. But just keep pushing, guys. We'll get this done, and we'll get you guys the help you need. And if you have any help, Pat's been a huge plus for us. And Teresa as well. So for one, thank her next time you guys get a chance. Give her some flowers, give her something, because she's been a huge help for our side, the median over there. So, but yeah, we're gonna push through to get these target dates hit, and we need to finish our portion as our jobs are, and get you guys what you need before the new year comes.
Cool. Um, Anybody have anything else? Peyton, you good?
I actually have a couple questions for you.
Okay. All right.
So I know you probably know, but are you proctoring my exam later today?
Yes.
Okay. And then I have a couple more questions kind of related just towards the BAT, if I could.
Okay.
So on when I do the testing for the draft and CO levels on the appliances and the CAS, do I have to drill holes? Because I don't have anything to like fill them back up. So that's what I'm kind of worried about. Like, do I like physically have to drill holes to get those levels, or are we gonna like maybe find a way around that or something?
Well, I mean, so for CO and uh, so for draft, I don't have to see draft on the field test. It's not on your field test. So it's a good test to do because it helps you sort out whether the unit is having the issue or the chimney. Those are two different companies to call, but we don't need to see draft on your field test. So that's done. We do have to see CO. Now the units that you're using, those have metal exhaust pipes.
Yeah, they both do.
Okay, so they're under negative pressure with the chimney. Um, those types of appliances, if they were to back up, they're going to back up either at the draft bell, the draft hood, or the burners. And those are basically wide open to the sky. So a little hole in that flue pipe is not going to be an issue for that. A lot of contractors use metal tape or fire caulk to seal those up. But it's frankly there should never be any air exiting there. It should always be coming in there anyway. So with that said, yeah, we'd like to see a hole, but then if you could get your probe under the draft bell and still test a piece of equipment without doing that, I don't know if it's your house that you're using or someone else's. That's acceptable to us. Some of the units have testing holes are already put into them. They're kind of rare, maybe 10% of the time.
Yeah, I was looking for the like pre-drilled holes, and there wasn't any on
Yeah.
either appliance, so that's why I was kind of wondering.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of scary. So whoever put it in didn't even test it, right? So wow, right there.
Yeah, yeah, I was thinking the same thing too.
Yep. But yeah, if you can get it underneath there, and I mean, I would just bring a drill with you, and a quarter-inch bit, or something a little bit larger, and then if when I'm on the test with you and I can see through Zoom what you're looking at, we can figure out the best course of action there. But if you can get the probe into that unit and still get me a carbon monoxide reading, that's fine.
Okay, yeah, after we hop off here, I'm gonna go test to see if I can get under there. But yeah, for the most part, like that's what I was worried about is like if I had to fill that hole back in, which I mean, from the sounds of it, I could just go pick something up afterwards to fill it back up.
Yeah, you could just get some fire caulk, whatever, $5, and just caulk it back up. That's fine. A lot of people do that. But it's perfectly acceptable for we'll just say on the camera that's being recorded that, for purposes of testing, it's not your house, and we're not going to drill a hole, but you would if it was a real audit. We're testing your knowledge, not your ability to drill holes.
Okay, that's fair. I understand. Another question. So on the field guide, do you recommend just following it straight down the list, or is there like any, I mean, would there be any reason I should skip around at all or anything?
No, no. The only reason to skip around is if you want to miss things, to be honest with you. So, in my experience, people that jump around end up skipping over stuff. So yeah, I would be like a robot and just ding, 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 click them all off, top to bottom, all 8 pages of that.
Okay, yeah, because my plan was I was just gonna have the field guy with me, obviously, but I
Yep.
was gonna just cross them off as I answered them. So,
Yep.
And then one last question. So like on the oral questions, there's some that say like we have to match terms to images or something like that. Are you going to provide those images?
Yes. Yeah. So what, like I'm screen sharing right now. I'm going to screen share, a forced air system uh, sketch, and you're going to match different components for those.
Okay, so they're just going to be numbered. I'll be like, number two is this, number
Yep.
three is this.
Yep. Filter slot, blower cabinet, whatever. Supply, return. They're kind of basic stuff, but yep.
Okay, I was just wondering there.
Yep.
All right, I think that's all I have question wise.
Go.
I just gotta, I really gotta practice on getting the blower door set up and all that still. I haven't really messed with that yet. I've messed with like the manometer and everything, like the actual manometer itself, and like played around on it to see how to get through it and function it. But I haven't like set the blower door up or ran like a trial run on the CAS, so I'm probably gonna do that next before I get
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, might as well. You got a couple hours, 2.5 hours. So, yep. Sounds good.
But thank you for answering my questions.
Sure. Anybody else have any questions?
I got one, just curious if we're able to. You sent me that email last night regarding one of the participants saying he can no longer do it.
Yep.
Um, is there a way to see how far along he was?
Yeah, I'd have to look that up.
And I can call you off. I can call you off offline and discuss that. We're just gonna see if there's any way we can redirect that since um, he's no longer able to do it. So I'm just wondering if we could.
Yeah, so we can let me see what he's done and whether the only thing I won't know is whether he took a building science principles certificate exam. I don't think so. Whether that test code was used or not. But it's not in my system, it's in BPI's. I mean, I can reach out to them. But yeah, I mean, if last update I gave you on him, I think was not he did the quizzes, but not the trainings, basically. So yeah, I could just remove him, and you can give me or whatever. You can send it to somebody else. But I'll email you in 15 minutes about that.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
All right. Anybody else? Okay. Well, good luck and reach out with any questions. Like I said, we've trained like 10,000 people. Like your questions I've probably answered a few times or maybe 100 times. So whatever challenges you have to getting there, we've probably seen it with somebody somewhere. So we'll figure that out. No big deal. All right.
Right on. Thank you,
Appreciate it.
everybody.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you guys.